After an embarrassing defeat last Tuesday, the Democrat Party's in complete turmoil. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm certainly having a great day myself, and before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and of course, join the channel today. Again, these are all great ways to support the daily content. But enough of the promotional stuff, let's get into it, because it appears that the Democrat Party's in complete turmoil. Yeah, that's right, despite the election being only a week ago, the party's in complete chaos. Just look at this headline from Axios. Money tensions rise between Harris's team and the DNC. Yeah, it's been 1 week, and already they're fighting each other over money. And this is from Axios, this is not from Fox News or some far-right news outlet. This is right from Axios. And they're already saying, hey, the Democrat Party is in deep financial shit. Just look at this. Democratic leaders are increasingly anxious about being left with a big bill from Kamala Harris's campaign. Yeah, it's been 1 week, and already they're starting to get very worried about the amount of debt this campaign has. For those that don't know, we're not talking about like $1 million. We're not talking about 2 or 3 million. No. According to some reports, there are tens of millions of dollars in debt. Yeah, tens of millions of dollars. And apparently this campaign rose over $1 billion. So by some miracle, this campaign raised $1 billion in like 5 months. Yet they spent so much money that they are in debt. How do you accomplish that? You're talking about $1 billion. It's not like, oh, they raised $5 million and that's it. No. They've raised $1 billion in like 5 months. That's what it says here. They raised well over $1 billion in less than 5 months. Yet they spent so much money that they're actually in debt. How in the hell do you accomplish that? The extent of the debts remains unclear because the campaign is still raising money and still receiving invoices from vendors and others. That means that more than likely, this campaign could have way more debt than most people could project. And for those that don't know, the last time the DNC was in this much debt was back in 2012. Yeah, after they won in 2012 with Obama, they were like tens of millions of dollars in debt. And it took them years to fully recover. Yeah, right here. The committee was still more than $2 million in debt in late 2015. So it took them like 3 to 4 years to fully recover. Which, by the way, some people in Hillary Clinton's campaign believed that the DNC's debt contributed to her defeat in 2016. And that was when they had way less debt, and that was after a big victory in 2012. Now, they not only have way more debt, but they got absolutely embarrassed last Tuesday. That is not a good combination. Now, there's been a lot of people looking into where this money went, because we're not talking about a small chunk of change. We're talking about $1 billion that they just burnt through. That doesn't happen unless you're Michael Bloomberg, who self-funds a $5 billion and gets embarrassed. But we're not talking about a Michael Bloomberg situation. This is, hey, Kamala Harris raised $1 billion through donors, through small donors, all that stuff. Yet she burnt through it like nothing. Well, people began to look into where this money went to. And the more you look into it, the more you realize that this campaign was a complete and total disaster. Now, of course, the majority of the money went towards TV ads. The Harris and Biden campaign spent about $530 million on TV ads, compared to Trump's $286 million. Yeah, so they outspent Trump 2-to-1 on TV ads, yet, well, we all know what happened. Trump won the popular vote, he won all the swing states, and quite frankly, he reshaped the map. But they outspent Trump 2-to-1 on TV ads. But you notice something. That's only $530 million, and that includes Biden's campaign. So the question is, where's the money? You've raised $1 billion in 5 months, and the majority of it, no one knows what happened to it. It's just gone, it disappeared. It's $1 billion you raised that just vanished. Well, people began to look more into this campaign, and it became apparent that this campaign was ran by absolute dumbasses. Like, they spent tens of millions, no, hundreds of millions of dollars on nothing. And the most notorious example is this. They paid Beyonce $10 million. Yeah, $10 million for a 2-minute speech, which, by the way, she didn't even perform at. Yeah, $10 million for a 2-minute speech from Beyonce. Just think about that for a second. We're not talking about a small, $100,000, which I know it's not small, but you get the point that it's not some, minor fee like that. It's $10 million to speak for 2 minutes and not even perform. And that's it. $10 million for Beyonce to speak for 2 minutes. That is unbelievable. That means they spent $5 million per minute of Beyonce. And she didn't even perform, which, by the way, they hyped that up. They hyped up that Beyonce was going to have a big performance at the Houston rally, and she didn't. And they spent $10 million for her to speak for 2 minutes, and it clearly did not work. But this wasn't the only occurrence of this. People began to look even further, and they realized, oh, wait a minute. It wasn't just Beyonce, because maybe this was a fluke, and maybe they got desperate. No. This was a consistent trend. This happened for nearly every single celebrity that backed Harris. The Oprah town hall? Turns out the Harris campaign paid Oprah's production company $1 million right before her town hall. Yeah, they gave Oprah Winfrey $1 million right before her town hall. So that means even her media appearances on Oprah's town hall, these rallies, which are just more like concerts, guess what? They were all fake. They weren't real. They spent tens of millions of dollars on these celebrities to support them. Tens of millions of dollars. I mean, think about that. Why? Does anyone really think that Oprah has that much sway in the electorate? Does anyone really think that Beyonce is worth $10 million for 2 minutes? Seriously? 2 minutes of Beyonce for $10 million? That's it? This campaign was ran by idiots, and people began to look more and more into it. The rallies, it was just concerts. They were spending tens of millions of dollars on those rallies, which were basically just concerts, because guess what? No one would show up if it wasn't for the performances. That's just a fact. I mean, every time the people stopped performing at the rallies, everyone left. Right when Harris started to speak, everyone left. It happened every single time. I mean, they wasted money on that Sphere in Las Vegas. They wasted money on everything, on podcasts even. Yeah, some podcasts they went on, they spent $500,000 to appear on it. So everything about this campaign was fake. I just cannot believe that they spent this much money on concerts, on celebrities, even podcasts. Just everything about this campaign was fake. It was fabricated. It was bullshit. It was never real. And now that's confirmed because they spent tens of millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars on crap like this, on stuff that didn't do squat to win anything. And it's clear it did not work because, well, look at the map. Right now, Trump is still winning the popular vote by 2. And he's won it. He's got a majority of the vote right now, and he won all those swing states. So yeah, this was a great strategy by Team Harris. And for those that are asking, well, did it work for anything? Maybe the rallies with Beyonce for 2 minutes, maybe it helped her with black voters. Well, it didn't. Look at this. Black men shifted 25 points Republican. Yeah, of any demographic, black men had the biggest shift towards Trump. And even black women shifted 6 points Republican. Yeah, black men and women shifted Republican. Despite Harris getting Beyonce, Oprah, all those celebrities, they still shifted towards Trump. In fact, there's only one demographic that actually shifted towards Harris. And this might be the most ironic thing about this entire election. The only demographic that shifted towards Harris, despite her banking on these big celebrities and that's it, were old, white, college-educated men that lived in urban areas. Yeah, not even white women, not even college-educated women. No. Old, white, college-educated men that live in urban areas. That is the only demographic that shifted towards Harris. Imagine saying that just a week ago. Which, by the way, I actually predicted this. I said that these Beyoncés, these Oprah Winfreys, they're not going to change anything. The only demographic Harris has any appeal to were white college-educated voters. And it looks like only white college-educated men that were above the age of 45. That's the only demographic, according to AP Votecast, that swung towards Harris. Every other demographic shifted towards Trump. Black voters, Hispanics, white working class voters, just in general, working class voters, young voters, men, even black women, every demographic shifted towards Trump except these demographics here. And they barely moved. I mean, a 4-point shift with white urban voters, that's it. A 1-point shift with whites above the age of 45. That's nothing. That's no shift whatsoever. This is why the Harris campaign lost. They banked everything on a stupid strategy, on just celebrities and that's it, but that backfired horrendously, because guess what? People don't give a rat's ass about Beyonce or Oprah or any of them. They care about the issues. They care about, hey, who's going to make America safer? Who's going to make America great again? And Trump gave us something. He promised us things that we support. Harris, meanwhile, did nothing. All she did was run a celebrity-based campaign with these concerts. That's what they were. They weren't even rallies. They were just concerts that had Harris at them for 5 minutes. That's what these rallies really were. Now, what's going to happen with the Democrat Party? It is too early to tell. But the fact that they're in this much debt after a defeat should be very worrisome for Dems. I mean, they are in much more debt than they were back in 2012. And it took them 5 years to recover back then. Now they're in like, God knows how much debt right now. And after a defeat, I mean, not just a close defeat, this was a complete rejection of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has to wake up. I mean, this is just a disaster. I mean, seriously, they really thought that Beyonce and Oprah Winfrey were going to save them. When in reality, they didn't. In fact, you could argue it might have hurt them. Because they spent tens of millions of dollars that could have went towards a ground game, that could have went towards a get-out-the-vote operation. They spent that money on Oprah Winfrey, on Beyonce, on celebrities that no one really cares about. And the people that were going to decide their votes based off of what Beyonce said, they're all Democrats. So you did not appeal to any new voters. All you did was appeal to Democrats. That's all you did. That's the only type of voter that listens to what Beyonce has to say about politics. A partisan Democrat that was going to vote Democrat no matter what. Do you really think an undecided independent would really make his decision based off of what Beyonce have to say? Do you really think that? Of course not. That's ridiculous. That's not what happened. It's clear from the exit poll data, it did not happen whatsoever. Not a single demographic except old white men shifted towards Harris. That's the only demographic that even slightly went towards Harris, which is still hilarious to think about. But the Democrat Party, if this keeps up, they could be in deep trouble. We just got to see how much debt they're really in, but the more you read into this, it sounds like it's way more than just a couple million or even like $10 million. I'm not saying it's 50 million, but I just cannot get over the fact that this campaign spent $10 million for 2 minutes of Beyonce and thought that was going to win them the election. That money could have went towards anything useful, but they spent that money on Beyonce, on Oprah Winfrey, on just celebrities and big concerts, and they thought that was going to carry them the victory. Well, it didn't. And the Democrat Party, they had to learn. They had to learn that they can't just rely on celebrities and call it a day. They have to actually work to get people to vote for them, convince people why they should vote Democrat. Why vote Democrat over Trump or the Republican Party? And right now, it doesn't seem like they're learning their lesson. At least some are. It looks like some Democrats in Congress, like Tom Suozzi, he is realizing that, hey, maybe some of this rhetoric's garbage and maybe we should adjust our policy a little bit. And, well, the Democrat Party is not happy about it. So if they attack Tom Suozzi or even Seth Moulton and, like, banish them out of the party for saying stuff like this, they haven't learned a damn thing. But we'll see what happens, but I don't think the Democrat Party is going to learn. Just based off how they're talking after the election, they really are going to probably triple down. they're going to probably triple down on this garbage, and they're going to think this time it's going to work. At 2028, if we just double down on Beyonce and Oprah, that will win us the election. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.